Yo, what's going on, people? All right, so it's official. I told you at work I like to listen to little audio books on historical knowledge and science, math, English, whatever. It's a little website I used to use. It's called Brain Pop. Well, I can't use that anymore because it's a cartoon, and all I'm going to say is I can't watch cartoons. Having my seizures, I can't watch cartoons. It's gotten so bad, I'm just going to avoid them as much as possible. But y'all know with autism, I don't have an imagination. So I'm going to do my best to, like I said, I was reading, I already know what the Texas Revolution was about, but I like to just refresh my mind and just learn new words. You know, that was a video I was watching on Brain Pop about the Texas Revolution. If you didn't know, they called themselves the Lone Star State because they considered themselves like their own little country. That's why they had like the little one star. It's funny how I believe Texas, the original name was actually in Spanish. It didn't sound anything like what we call Texas today. But you know, like all like the west side was once it's called Oregon, the Oregon Trail, Oregon County. I believe with California, Utah, Montana, everything on the west side, which is once considered Oregon. And then I was reading about the Mormons, how they fled to Utah because they were being persecuted by their religion. And then I watched a video on the Salem witch trials where they were talking about the girl. Like I actually read like the preface in my book. Every in my government and law book on my phone, it was talking about the Salem witch trials and how we have due process and how something like that couldn't occur in today's time. But I saw something. That's why I'm kind of itching, because whenever I see something that relates to my seizures, I start itching and scratching. So that's why I'm doing that right now. Because at my job, it's no hot water, like knob. You just gotta wait. You really gotta use the water or whatever. It's really kind of like warm and cold. But usually when things like that happen, I use like hot water and soap to just wash my face, and that helps me. But anyway, long introduction. So 2008. This can be, I guess, teenage years, the beginning of that. So the verbal abuse, the dressing down, it took its course around this year because the hitting stopped last year. He would do it a lot. Now, he was a real, like I said, he liked to do those things in her presence. I don't know why he did that amongst her presence, but he did it a lot. He would only really take our side or buddy up with us if they were arguing and she didn't want to talk to him. So if they were arguing, I don't know why it's his fucking house, but he would come in our room and just sit on the bed like a fucking child with us if she was angry with him. So, like I said, the Tuesday folder was really stressful. He was always dressing me down about my grades, and it was so stressful. I told you, I went crazy. I was making fake tests. I was hiding tests from him. You know, I don't know, because like the older I got, when we were one day cleaning the basement, I was like 19, I was finding tests from the 8th grade. I was finding tests from the 7th grade. Freaking history tests, English tests that I failed. I'd be hiding them under the fucking the TV stand downstairs in the basement. That's how fucking crazy he was over me just trying to be like my brother, because my brother was a gifted student. I just didn't understand how my brain operated at the time. If I knew all of my my triggers and what I need to eat before I study, I probably would have been just as good as him. But like I told you, he didn't really try to understand what I was going through. It was just, it's because I said so, or do it, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like that's just what my home life consisted of. Now, yeah, I conformed to all the nagging, all the control freak ways of his girlfriend. I conformed to a lot of it. You know, I really stayed in my room a lot of the times. I didn't bother going downstairs. She liked to talk a lot too. So I would always try to go downstairs and go in the kitchen before she would come, because she would just start talking. And I would be, sometimes I have to wait till she leave the house so I can go downstairs, because I did not like talking with her in the kitchen. You know, if you, anybody that is like around, if you were born before year 2000, right? But you were born after 1991. You remember Nickelodeon, if you watch Nickelodeon. They had this marathon called Let's Just Play Go Healthy Challenge. This just kind of popped in my head. I want to tell you how fucking lazy her daughter was, and my dad never spoke out against this. So let's just play Go Healthy Challenge was a day where Nickelodeon, and I remember I was at my dad's for this, so they said they were going to be off the air from 12 o'clock to 3, because they wanted you to go outside and play. That was it was the day, the worldwide day of play. There we go. That's what it's called, worldwide day of play. And my tooth fell out. I had a loose tooth, or it was about to come out, whatever. She was so fucking lazy, because she didn't know how to carry bags up the stairs, because he never checked her laziness. She knocked on my door when I was half asleep and was telling me they got groceries, because she would always, because when my brother wasn't there, she had to do something, she had to do work, but he never called that out. But she was so lazy. She wanted me to help her with the bags, because like I said, her mom really just, I know I got female subscribers, but her mom really destroyed my image of women. Because around 2008, my view of women is becoming very negative. I'm still, like I said, I'm still very into, not really the girls in my class like that, because most of them I don't really find attractive from their attitudes. I'm trying to think of one girl I may have liked. It may have been a few, maybe like a smattering of girls I liked in my class, but every girl that I probably liked, they either were going to a different school, because there were schools that were catching the bus with us. Like there was a school called J.R. Masterman School, which is like a magnet school. You need to have really good grades to go there. It run from pre-K to 12th grade, and I was always just looking at girls that weren't my own race, because I came to the conclusion that girls are like my dad's girl, sometimes my mom, because my mom had her ways too. It was mostly I felt safe at my mom's house. There just wasn't enough resources there. If that makes any sense. So I'd have to deal with a man at her house, but sometimes there's not a lot of food. There's less resources there. So I could be happy and starving, or I could be full, have a full stomach and stressed the fuck out. So around this time, I'm really looking just at, like, I'm really going online. As soon as I get home, I'm always just going on YouTube. So this is YouTube before Google purchased YouTube. This is looking at wrestling videos, looking at wrestling intros. I'm just researching things that I didn't understand what this is. Like, I'm just online. And I do have this obsession. And let me just tell you this. There's a girl in my brother's class I actually really, really like. I talked to her on MySpace the summer of '07. That whole year, I really, really liked her. I'll say her name. Her name was Virginia. I'm not gonna say her last name because you can look up her last name. I believe she may have kids now. She probably would, because I think she got pregnant in high school. But I really liked her. You know, I'm sorry, but she was light skinned. You know, she had like a big she had hair, like really long, like kinky hair, and I really liked her. Now, she wasn't a girl my brother talked to, but I just really liked her. I even went over her. Yo, this is so funny. I walked over her house one time. I didn't do nothing, but I was just obsessed with just talking to her. So she used to say things to me, and I really, like, if I wanted any girl to be my girlfriend at 12 and 13, it would have been her. You know, I really liked her a lot. But eventually I looked at her MySpace and she was dating some girl, and a friend of her sister that I wasn't attracted to. So she had a friend. Her sister was in my class and we really didn't get along, but I really liked Virginia. I liked her a lot. I liked Virginia, and even my brother was saying they're not even in your class. He kept telling me stay in your classroom and all this stuff. Because around this time, this is when we're beginning to like drift apart from each other. Since he's going to high school, I'm still in elementary school. I remember 2007. I went with him on his practice. He had like a tryouts for the football team at his new school. I went to him for the tryouts, and he really didn't want me there. Maybe because I was embarrassing him, or the fact that he wasn't as good as he claimed to be in football, because he was playing like defensive lineman. He made the team, but this is when we begin drifting apart, where, because he's going to stay every time he's at our dad's with me, he has to leave like 5:30 in the morning to get on a trolley in a bus just to get near my mom's house so he can get on a bus that takes him to school. I never really knew his route to school, because this time, like I said, I have a phone. I have a Nokia phone, but we are not like texting each other or calling each other. It's not like that at all. We're beginning to drift apart from each other, and I'm over it now, because I see the person he is. See, I had to understand at 27 that there's a distinction between the brother you grew up with as a kid and the person he is today. See, my personality is not very different from the person I was at 12. Now, my ways have changed, but my personality has stayed the same. Like I said, he caught a bus all the way to Winmore, PA, which is, so you got to be from Philly to know certain areas. Winmore, PA is not far from Cheltenham. Well, not Cheltenham, but like, I'll call this where Cheltenham Mall used to be. That's where his school isn't too far from. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, he had to catch a bus out there, and we're not really close at this point. So if I'm ever at my dad's, I have a whole room to myself sometimes, and you know, my dad's all trying to like talk to me. See, if my brother wasn't around to co-sign a lot of his dressing down of me, he would really go easy on me. But I'm beginning to lose trust in him from all the like past just fear that he put in me. I'm beginning to lose trust in him as a person. So it's times when I'm in my room doing my homework, I'm always like just trying to avoid contact with him. Like I said, I'm just trying to just be in my room most of the time. I'm not really trying to make contact with nobody in there. Like I said, I have a hatred for the girl, hatred for the daughter. I'm growing a hatred towards my dad, very gradually. You know, I have a phone that, like, I don't have a plan, but I have like minutes on my phone. I don't know if they still do that now, but he'll give me like 200 minutes, and that'll be good for like sometimes over 2 months, because I wasn't talking to nobody. This is me using a phone. Hey, I locked myself out the house. Can you open the door? Or, hey, how was work today? hey mom, I'm home from school. But if I was close to school, I would just call her on the landline to save money. But I wasn't talking to nobody. I had nobody in my class who, was like friends. I had no friends. I had no girls that liked me. It doesn't matter now, but I had no girls who I believe liked me, because I didn't understand the concept of the man supposed to ask the girl out. I was I just didn't socialize at all. It was a real drag going to school. And around this time too, because I have a teacher who is real nasty. And I'm just going to say this too. This teacher is also responsible for the way I view black women. Not all, but a lot. So she was a really nasty ass teacher. I'm not going to say her name, but she would berate me in class as well. Because, like I said, I didn't know about my autism at 13 and 12. So she would say things like, "What's wrong with you? You have issues. Something's wrong with you." She would do that in front of class a lot, and I never spoke out. I never told nobody. I never told my mom. I mean, I told them, like, teachers used to say things to me, used to bully me, but I never went home and told them, because I was so embarrassed about it. Because you getting abuse at home, you're getting people dressing you down in your own home. The daughter is dressing me down. Her family is. Only person that's really sticking up for me during that time was my brother, but he's far away. And people in school, when my brother is gone, I just noticed that people they felt more courageous to like talk mess to me since my brother wasn't there, because he always would have my back if something wasn't right. But a lot of that stuff I'm over with now, because I look at it like this. I don't know how many of my subscribers or whoever watches this video is from Philly, but to stay in a city like that, and I mean to live in a city or just work in a city like Philadelphia today, and you don't have any plans of leaving or doing something with your life, I feel like I won in the end. I may not be where I want to be right now, but I'm making progress every day, because I just tell myself this. I don't have any kids. I don't have anything holding me back from going where I want to go, working where I want to work, saving my money. So I feel like I won if all the people I went to school with, all my teachers are still stuck in that shithole city. Because I'm going to say this again. Living up north is no prize. It's nothing. Whenever people say how this rapper can't come to Chicago, and I'm talking about northern cities, like this rapper can't go to Chicago, you can't come to Milwaukee, you can't come to Philly, you can't come to New York, you can't come to Jersey City. Let me tell you right now, with the exception of New York City, most of these cities have nothing to offer but violence, crime, and poverty. The only thing you can get out of those cities I just named is a rap career. But there is nothing that Chicago has to offer anybody relating to living in a good neighborhood. There's nothing Philadelphia has to offer anybody. Now, if you were to go somewhere else in the world, like a different country, or somewhere like California, somewhere like Florida, like here, somewhere like just trying to think of another place, somewhere like Nevada, somewhere with good weather, nice homes. But Philadelphia has nothing to offer. So, because I feel like this too. If you don't hear anything about your classmates, all the things they said they were going to be in life, and you don't hear about them, but you're trying to get something going on like me, you won. Because everybody who talked down on me in class, I haven't heard nothing about them since. They're not in the NFL. They're not a rapper. They're not a singer. They're not in the NBA. They're not they're not an actress. They're none of these things that they said they were going to be. They're just regular people like me, and most of them are probably still stuck in that city. So I don't feel no kind of way about it, but I'm almost got to go back to work, my break. So, like I said, it was a lot of stuff going on at school. there was what else? I'm trying to think. So yeah, like I said, I conformed to her, a lot of her nagging. And around this time too, you guys know Barack Obama is running for president. So that's also really big at the time. We all know that he won. And just a little spoiler alert, my dad had the nerve when he won, just to tell you how he lived. So when Barack Obama won the election, there were gunshots outside my house. The first gunshots ever. And then he had the nerve to wake me up over what we know today is a complete lie. We understand that Barack Obama was basically a African he's I don't want to really call him black, because Barack Obama, for one, his mom is white, his father is African. He did not grow up around black culture. He grew up in a white family. And if anything, he secretly has disdain for black people because his own black father abandoned him. He only came back in his life only 1 or 2 times. I think he gave him a basketball as a present. But he woke me up out of my sleep to celebrate Barack Obama winning the election. And I don't really want to see, if I tell you what happened next, it'll kind of spoil the story. But let's just say we all understood as black people, Barack Obama did nothing for black people in his 8 years in office. And he had the most blind support from black people. I mean, not like donating to his campaign, but I think that year for Christmas, I got a Barack Obama t-shirt that I never wore. I wasn't a Barack Obama hater. I did jokingly say I hope McCain wins, and my dad was like, "Don't say that, son." But it's insane how blindly black people support the Democratic Party. It's real disgusting. I'm not telling you go vote for Trump this year, but you vote for a party that is historically racist, historically passes laws that don't have your best interests. Frank Rizzo, who was a mayor in Philadelphia during my dad's years, as around my age, he was a Democrat. Bull Connor was a Democrat. Bill Clinton was a Democrat. But you vote for this party that has basically given you the fuck you sign for the past 60, 70 years going on. But I gotta head back to work. I want to get concluded with this. I'm not really having any crushes at school other than the girl Virginia. And by the way too, I wasn't always a vegetarian. I'm also growing very obsessed with Church's Chicken, because my dad, in spite of a lot of his abuse, like a lot of his dressing down, he does make sure that I get money for, because this is when potato chips weren't $2.40, $2.50. We would get like little small bags of potato chips at school. They would sell them with our lunch, and I would always get $2. Well, sometimes I would take that money, and you could tell how much times are changing. I would always save that chip money, and I would go to Suburban Station in Philly on downtown, and I would go to the Church's Chicken on Suburban Station. I don't know if it's still there, but I'll always go there and get a chicken sandwich for like a $1.06. I would always forget that 6 cents, and then the Chinese lady would be like, next time 6 cents. But I would go there a lot. I was going there pretty often after school, and this is when I'm starting to form. I'm like not in shape. I do got a little bit of a stomach, but I'm growing a real mad obsession with Church's fried chicken, because I'm going there a lot. I'm eating the food. You know, I'm hanging out downtown in Suburban Station a lot. But I'm gonna resume this a little later. Peace.